Brianna Chickenfry has more things to say about her ex, Zach Bryan, and it's not making him look any better, that's for sure. Since their breakup, people have really been looking at Zach in a negative light, given all that has come out and been said by Brianna and even Dave Portnoy on the BFFs podcast. And we are going to spill on some more things that she had to say, especially on TikTok. As Zach and Brianna's breakup continues to play out online, a lot has been posted since my last video recapping how their relationship unfolded. Brianna found out that Zach was cheating on her their entire relationship, and she was accusing him of a number of things, from hurting her to coming between her friendships to being controlling over what she wore, posted, her hair color, and she revealed that he tried to pay her $12 million to sign an NDA and that she refused, which a lot of people respect her for. And since she refused, she's been able to tell her story, which she hopes will help others in toxic relationships. Though it seems Zach is still finding ways to try and upset her, as Brianna has accused Zach of keeping her beloved cat Stump. She revealed in a TikTok that when he left, he took Stump with him, and she is heartbroken over it.
And I miss Stump so much. I want to kidnap him. But when he left and didn't tell me anything, he just took Stump, like, out of spite. He didn't even like cats. Jack hates cats. Boston love cats. I love cats. Could someone steal the cat back from me? Like, I'm not joking. The animals throughout this have been, like, one of the hardest parts. Like, I just think about Boston and Jack and Stump. I think about Stump every night.
Earlier in the week, Zach shared a photo of Stump resting on his shoulder, saying, "You tool Stump cat, best shoulder parrot around." And also this photo of Stump saying road dog. And Brianna posted a TikTok threatening to release footage of Zach allegedly hurting her if he continues to post photos of Stump on Instagram, which she perceives as him rubbing it in her face.
If this man's post my cat one more time, I'm gonna post videos of you whipping face. So can you stop posting my cat and rubbing it in my face?
And in a recent BFFs podcast episode, Brianna shared that members of Zach's team have allegedly been messaging her behind the scenes, expressing their dislike for him. And this all aligns with what Dave Portnoy has also hinted in the Smellless Man diss track that they made about Zach, where him and Josh are talking about the fact that his band does not like him.
There's people right now in Zach's camp that hate him, men that are feeding me inside information. Like, it's just crazy.
They also in the podcast called out the fact that these people don't like him, yet they're still surrounding themselves with him, supporting him in his career because they're making money off of him. And it's just this twisted, messy situation. But in talking about Zach and his character, Dave also wanted to tell a story on the podcast about an incident where Zach was allegedly rude to their bodyguard. He said that there was a moment where Zach really showed his true colors, and that hearing this story, anyone would just be like, "You are crazy. Like, you're off the rails, dude. Like, this is just not a normal way to be reacting to a situation like this. Like, why are you acting this way?"
Mike, our security guard, one of the nicest guys going, great security guard. You guys were at some event, maybe it was in Boston. And
Nashville.
Was it Nashville?
Yeah.
Zach had his security guy. Mike's there. His security guy, Zach's, is in the front seat. Mike's in the front seat. You guys are out in a venue. The streets are crowded in Nashville. You're trying to get out. They like each other, Mike and the security guard. And Mike's just like, "Can you go around back to make sure I don't hit anybody? Like, to help back out." And Zach's like, "You're not allowed to talk to my security guard." Like, just that little story. Like, what do you, like, what
Power trip are you on, dude?
Like, you're trying to back out your crowded street.
Like, he clearly is just like this insecure person. He just needs to feel like he is in charge or something. And Brianna went on to share a concerning story about Zach freaking out when her friend and fellow influencer Fibula touched her shoulder. And this was just one of the many instances where Zach displayed controlling tendencies during their relationship, according to Bri.
That's just reminded me of another one. You know, Fibula, who you hate?
Yeah, I don't like Fibula.
Zach tried to murder him because he touched my shoulder. Like, in the car, made him pull the car over, kicked him out of the car. It was crazy.
Now, since Brianna is obviously addressing a lot of things, she wanted to take the time to address some of the backlash that she received for previous comments that she has had on her own Plan Bri podcast that got her in quite some trouble prior to her breakup. One of which was a comment that she made about the Menendez brothers and just telling them, you know, run away. Like, if the situation is so bad, like, just leave.
You meditated, shoot your mommy in the face, your daddy in the face while they're on the couch, and you think, woohoo, oh, that's because they were mean to us, they did bad stuff to us. You run away. You run away. Run away. You don't need to kill people. I think you should be in prison forever because you murder people. I think that's how the life works. You murder people, you stay in prison. If you think that's wrong, maybe we need to talk, because murderers go to jail.
She later did address the situation on an episode of BFFs where she said that she just felt like there were other things they could have done before they took their parents' lives.
We said that what people are mad about is, and I understand why people are mad about it, is we were like, just run, or I said, run away. Why don't you just run away first? And I do stand by that. Like, you should try to, before murdering people, I do think there's other courses of action you can take, but I didn't know that they did try to run away. So uneducated. And people are like, you're blaming them. I'm not taking away the fact that they were victims, but when I talked about it, I was like, I just truly think there could maybe be a couple steps before murdering your parents.
And she has since apologized for this, explaining that she was just projecting her own issues onto the situation at the time and is very sorry for what she said.
Brie, about the Menendez brother, that's another thing. Even if you didn't re-speak about it, the comparisons on, but you did re-speak about it.
Yeah, I said I was clearly projecting, and I never discredited their abuse, but I was obviously projecting, and I apologize for those remarks, of course.
Since this podcast, though, I will say that Brianna has been spotted getting cozy with an Aussie boy, as seen in a recent TikTok. While she claims it's nothing serious and she wouldn't see him again, the pair did seem cozy, and people were talking about this, but she claims it's nothing.
And then after that, I'm hanging out with one of the Australian boys, but just for fun. Like, we're just gonna have a fun day. It's nothing crazy. So if you see me and an Australian boy walking around, ignore me, okay? Ignore. I'm never gonna see him again, so it's like, whatever. I'm also going to UFC tonight.
To all of this, Brianna commented back to someone who said that was fast by saying, well, I was cheated on my whole relationship, so yeah. Meanwhile, Zach's ex, Deb, has entered the chat now, or so fans think. She posted a TikTok set to a Taylor Swift song while sipping Josh wine, which fans interpreted as her subtle acknowledgement of the situation that's going on right now. Although she has seemingly signed an NDA about her relationship with Zach, this post and her liking a few related comments has fans convinced that this is her way of addressing the situation in her own way. People commented and said, Josh wine, Taylor Swift lyrics, Dave stands for, the song choice, the wine, the smile, but maybe it's all coincidental. Love this for her though. You said everything without saying a word. She commented under one of her videos with the Taylor Swift lyrics, broken parts to be better off. Taylor said it, not me. And also she liked to comment on another video that said, just know you don't owe us anything. Love watching you thrive. Deb also posted about the fact that she has been staying quiet recently, that she hasn't been posting as much to allow for more important stories to get talked about, which many believe is another nod to the situation going on revolving Brianna coming out and talking about Zach.
I feel like I don't end up doing a lot of chit-chatty videos like this. Actually, it took me literally so long to even be able to talk in the videos that I feel like we've come so far. I haven't been like super vulnerable on the internet. That's definitely something that I'm working on, like within reason. I took like a little bit of time off. It was literally 1 week. I'm kind of being dramatic, honestly, from posting. I sometimes just feel like there's really important conversations being had, and I want to try and like be as mindful and respectful of things like that. I feel like there are times when like my Sephora haul or like an outfit of the day doesn't really feel that important in the grand scheme of things. I also feel like I get a little bit overwhelmed, especially around the holidays. I think this is always a really stressful time for like a lot of people. And I start to feel like a little bit inauthentic posting and it not being really expressive of like how I'm actually feeling. Those are some of the things that are on my mind. All of this to say that I'm gonna start posting again. Yeah, if there's any like specific content that I could, change or do better, then I guess this is like my year in review, honestly.
And the situation between Brianna and Zach honestly does not seem to be going away anytime soon, and he still seems to be wanting to push her over the edge, which if he keeps pushing her, she might just release those videos that she is keeping to herself of him as a courtesy. Like, you would think that he would just let her be, but it doesn't seem like he wants to do that, because in a new TikTok, Dave revealed that Zach is seemingly going out of his way to bother Brianna, saying that when Brianna attended a recent UFC fight, Zach's team reportedly got the winner of the fight to give Zach a shout out during his post-fight interview. And the fighter later admitted on a podcast that he isn't even a Zach Bryan fan and that he was contacted prior to the fight to say this. Like, this move was very calculated and clearly an attempt to rattle Brianna, knowing that she was going to be in the room because she had been promoting that she was going to be at this fight.
This past Saturday night, UFC New York, Brianna Chickenfry goes to the event, her first UFC event. She's advertising, she's going, she's all over the place. Everyone knows she's going. During the fights, this guy, David Anamo, wins the fight, gets in the middle of the ring, and gives Zach Bryan a shout. He's like, you know, I'm so happy, Zach Bryan, like, this one's for him. Can't wait to see his show in a couple weeks. Obviously, people are like, oh, that's going to suck for Brie, like, she's there, and they're getting a Zach Bryan shout out. This guy, David Anamo, goes on a podcast. It was so odd. The podcasters are like, what's up with Zach Bryan? You're a big Zach Bryan fan? The UFC guy, he's like, I don't even know who Zach Bryan is. His manager, his team reached out to my team, like begging for a shout out.
You grabbed the mic back from him and you said something about, I'm gonna be back here next month to come see Zach Bryan. Zach Bryan. What's the story behind that? And how long have you been a Zach Bryan fan? Was that real?
My manager's house called me like, hey, Zach Bryan is here and he wants you to give him a shout out. To be honest, I don't know who Zach Bryan was.
That was like a paid advertisement for him.
Yep, exactly. That's literally what it was.
He doesn't even know who Zach Bryan is. This small little 4'8" psychopath is that pathetic and that lost where they gotta beg UFC guys for a shout out just to try to rub it in. Like, Brown gives a we know you're popular, Zach. You don't need to bribe people to say your name, you pathetic little man.
This whole thing is honestly just so crazy. And now there's this video going around of Zach from a recent show where he is performing and he is singing this line about how all of his exes hate him. And people are saying that he just looks so scary and aggressive when he is singing this particular line. Some people are saying, well, he has always sung it this way. He's always looked this way when he has done it. But I don't know. This is freaky. So that's something that people have been saying this week. In some unrelated news, though, I do want to talk about the future of the BFFs podcast because Dave did clarify that there were going to be some changes going on. It seems Josh and Brianna are set to continue the show without Dave soon, and he kind of wanted to give his reasoning for it.
Future BFF. So, yeah, all right. People were, I guess, confused when we said this last time. I said I was leaving BFFs. BFFs is continuing with Bree and Josh, and I don't know if you guys want to talk. I think the plan is to change it a little bit. No?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a new pod.
Yeah, definitely new feel. I think you're going to see me and Bree in person much more. I think you're going to see a little bit more of like a guest atmosphere as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys will
a
have
little more personal life involved in it.
Luck with guests. Like we would try to get guests, and I think they were a little afraid of me, even though I think that was always kind of unfair. Like we didn't really
I agree.
grill people.
No,
I think it was just your bluntness towards them that maybe got them afraid. They knew that they couldn't give you a PR trained answer and that you would be like, okay, let's move to the next question.
And I'm also not a fan of like, you want to guess and like, well, the guest doesn't want to talk about this. It's like, well, that's
then you
exactly
bring it up.
That's all you want to talk
that's
about.
like the only thing I want to talk about. So
Honestly, I was surprised by this. Maybe I've been so distracted by this whole Brianna and Zach situation that I did not hear about the fact that Dave is leaving the BFFs podcast, but he is. But that is what Dave had to say about that. That is what Brianna and Josh as well has said on the podcast in regards to Zach Bryan. I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this because it is just wild. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.